Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, everyone.
We've been gone for a minute. Sorry, I know you missed us. We've been doing some research into this whole P. Diddy thing, Allie Carter, connections with Blue Ivy, uh, Kathy Corey White.
Um,
Who
Elon
else?
Musk.
Elon Musk. There's a big connection here, and no, it's not because he went to a Diddy party. Um, we'll get to that in a minute. A little bit of QAnon kind of thing going on in there. Um, yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. So we're just kind of going to get right into it and just start telling you what we've been figuring out. So Allie Carter, for those of you that don't know, is this young lady that's been speaking out publicly. She alleges that Diddy and Jay Z and Usher and Denzel Washington,
Quite a few people.
Obama, people like that are people that have assaulted her um, and trafficked her. And she alleges that this has been going on with her since she was 3 months old. She's allegedly got documented proof, from CPS and doctors and all kinds of stuff, where really nobody in the system was helping her. And I actually know from my own research into trafficking that there are multiple businesses, agencies, and people worldwide that are connected to this trafficking um, industry. And unfortunately, I have learned that it is the most lucrative industry out there. Like, they make more money from trafficking than anywhere. And places like um, the Red Cross has some sketchy connections that I'm not feeling good about. CPS, CIA, FBI. Many people are not necessarily the ones doing it, but turning a blind eye to it, so to speak. We've got politicians involved, we've got Hollywood involved, the music industry, doctors, lawyers, judges, teachers,
Your next door neighbor.
your next door neighbors, foster parents. A lot of times are involved, or like these orphanage type agencies, these adoption agencies, unfortunately, are involved in a lot of this kind of stuff. Not all of them, but some of them. They have their hands in this stuff, and it's bad. It goes deep. I mean, it literally reaches every corner of our life, our lifestyle, our world. Every country. Um, that's the big deal about the borders, right? Because, like, what is it?
320 thousand children missing.
Yeah,
unaccounted
missing
for.
immigrant children that have come across our border. They're unaccounted for.
Yeah, they don't know where they're at now.
3 years. Yeah, don't know where they are. Um, thought they put them in foster care and then lost track of them somehow. And like HAS and DHS, they're giving a big pushback on that. Won't give any answers. Won't give any documentation so that anybody can try to track these children down to make sure that they're safe and being treated well. I mean, it's just a whole big thing. And back in the day, which wasn't that long ago, when the whole Anon thing was a big deal, a lot of us were looking into these different things. And for me, trafficking was kind of that area that I was the most interested in learning more about, to see if it was real. Because I was one of them real skeptical people. I didn't think it was real. I didn't think that it was near as rampant as some people were trying to make it out to be. And then I found, like, it's so much worse than what people were trying to tell me. It's so much worse. Um, so that was kind of my area of expertise for doing deep dives and going down rabbit holes. And Q used to say these people are sick, which is very true, but extremely an understatement for what they're capable of and what they've done. And fortunately for us, it's actually been documented through video recordings for us to be able to prove that they did it, you know. Because these cases, when they go to court, if you don't have hardcore evidence about it, unfortunately, it doesn't go too far. So, on to my topic of why I'm even speaking about the Q. He used to almost mock everybody and say, "You'll never guess who this is. You'll never figure out who we are," right? And I think I may have figured it out, actually. And I'm not trying to dox anybody. I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble or anything like that. But with all of the sealed indictments, all of the international crimes against humanity tribunals that I know for a fact have been taking place over the past 6, 7, 8 years, and all of this research that I've done into this industry, we've been watching these videos of this Allie Carter, right? We've been learning about her, reading her energy, trying to deduce if she's telling the truth or not about what's going on with her or what happened with her, you know, because it is alleged, right? And then we come across this lady named Kathy Corey White, who apparently was allegedly Jay-Z, aka Hove,
mistress,
who was, again, allegedly pregnant until right before she passed away, or was unalived, however that really happened. So her baby would have been very, very young, with no mother, and so we started wondering, is Allie Carter perhaps this baby, right? Because she claims that she's been
she has elite
assaulted, right? But she claims she's been assaulted since she was 3 months old, and she also says that she's from an elite bloodline, right? Elite bloodline. Now, in her words, she's Tupac's daughter, but we don't believe that. We believe that's a cover so that she doesn't actually expose who she truly is, because, you know, then somebody might come at her head, like Kanye says, right? If anybody remembers that. So we start doing some tracking and tracing and studying and listening to and all this kind of research, and we come across this interview where someone is talking about the communications, right? Is that what it was? The communications that go on between the traffickers and the handlers,
yes,
and all that kind of thing. And I was telling Missy, I was like, oh yeah, right, because actually, you know, like WikiLeaks did the email hacks, and so we had emails from communications that they did, correspondence back and forth, and then we also learned that they were communicating through Xbox, and we had all of that kind of information that we were gleaning, you know. And so that kind of, you know, became their old way of communicating, and they started having a new way. And we really didn't put that piece together, figure out what the new way was, until we listened to a different video, totally different topic, about Elon Musk, actually. It was an interview with Elon Musk and his Neuralink transplant. And we were like, oh, that's why all the celebrities are like glitching out and stuff, because they've got the Neuralink, right? And why would they have the Neuralink?
But to talk to each other in private where they're not heard.
Right.
They can talk.
It's their new form of communication with each other.
Yeah.
Now, the kicker in that is that everything that happens with the little Neuralink transmitter receiver goes to a cloud. And who would own that cloud but, Elon Musk. Right? And the beauty in that is that Q always said, we have it all, right? And that we have more than we know. And I never really kind of fully absorbed that until we had this little talk last night, and we were like firing off things at each other, and it was like a huge hallelujah aha moment. It was like, ah! Like I feel like we cracked the code. We figured it all out. So here's the lowdown. We think that the celebrities and politicians, whoever, took the Neuralink You know, because like Shaq's got one. He totally locked up and looked like a robot. Katy Perry and her weird eye twitchy thing.
Yeah.
Like Beyonce's done the weird head thing.
The head twitch.
Hillary Clinton's done it. I mean, lots of them have done it. So, and we didn't understand what's going on with these bozos. And everybody's like, maybe it's a clone, or it's this, or it's that. So what if, hypothetically speaking, and again, this is just for entertainment purposes, because we're having fun. It's our Scooby-Doo time. What if they all have the Neuralink transplant, and that's how they're communicating? But sometimes that sucker acts like a Tesla and it glitches out.
And it could be a plan, because it could be something that makes us notice them.
And it might have been done intentionally. I ain't saying Elon Musk is not a genius, because I'm actually getting to that part. I really think he's a bigger genius than we ever gave him credit for. Because he has all the data, right? And he's clearly hanging out with Mr. T and a pretty big fan of his, right?
And the Twitter. Talking
And
about
so
the Twitter.
then, Act 1, scene whatever, 4, was actually when he purchased Twitter, right? Because he bargained and dickered back and forth for a couple of years with the people that own Twitter. Because he wanted the negotiation of the deal to be that when he buys Twitter, he doesn't buy it from this day forward. He wants Twitter from its onset beginning forward.
So all the data.
He has the data. Right? Doesn't matter if you deleted your tweets. He has the data. And again, I'm going to refer back to some Q posts where they would say, we have it all. And they were talking trillions of trilobytes. And I'm like, how could this even be a thing? How could they have trillions of trilobytes on anything, right? Because I'm a skeptic, and I'm going to ask questions. That's the way we're supposed to be. Even Q said so. Ask questions. Think for yourself. So I'm like, how in the world could they have so many trillions of trilobytes? But hello, if he's got all of Twitter, and he has Neuralink, and Starlink, which could very well be working as a two-way sender-receiver also, and it's just like training along all over the place in the sky.
Gathering all that information that you don't
houses,
know you're giving away.
Data mining, collecting info, spying on people. Who knows what he's doing, right? Who knows? We don't know. We don't know what Mr. Musk is up to, right? So what if? Just what if he is doing all of those things, or most of them, and has all of that data? Well, hell, he's, number one, he's going to be way bigger and more popular than Assange and WikiLeaks, right? He's going to blow him out of the water, make him look like a small fry in the pond. But let's ponder this. What if he's the mastermind behind the whole Anon movement? And I know there have been times that us Anons would kind of entertain the possibility, you know, but we would always sort of go back to other people that we thought was a better fit for it, just for their own personal reasons. They would be a better fit, personal agenda, to make sure the bad guys are gathered up. Because as far as I can tell, Musk ain't never had nothing happen to him. He has no personal agenda, and I've never really felt like he had very many morals, or maybe even is human. There's a lot of people that have guessed at that. Is he even really human? But maybe he's going to shock all of us here soon.
Yeah, he would be one of the least obvious people.
He would certainly fit that description of us never being able to figure out who Q is. I mean, completely he fits that bill, because never in a million years would we ever take that seriously. He has no agenda. I mean, you know, he's squeaky clean as far as all that goes. He's not dabbled in any of that kind of stuff, you know, in any, not the money laundering, the trafficking, like none of it.
Mm-hmm.
He is squeaky clean. And I promise, we looked for dirt on him. We looked for dirt. It wasn't there. There was no dirt. I mean, if he is complicit in something, he covered his tracks well. Because there's nothing. And he's got no vendettas against anybody. He's never really been political either way until recently.
Yeah, he's always rode that fence.
He always rode the fence. Nobody really knew where he stood on anything. We never knew if he was going to take AI and let it kill us, you know, or if he was going to take control of AI to keep it from taking over humanity. I mean, he's always been on that fence. Nobody's ever been able to, like, put a pin in it and say, that is who Musk is. So yeah, you've got the Neuralink, you've got the Starlink, you've got the Twitter. We already used WikiLeaks and Xbox as examples that was a previous way to communicate. That, I mean, they caught on to us knowing and catching on when all of the different gate things started happening, like with pizza and such. So, you know, they figured it out quick and started making other means of communication. And why wouldn't they, if they have the money to do it, go get the little, you know, implant done? And it would completely explain all of their crazy, you know,
they're glitchy.
all their weird shit that they're doing now.
If only it just fried them, you know.
Well, that's not nice. But
well, I
yeah,
mean,
we can't say that on there. That's not nice. You gotta be nice. But yeah, I mean, people in Hollywood, people in the music industry, politicians, doctors, lawyers, all these people that are involved are all people that have money that could afford that.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And forget about the peons, you know, like the fostering system and all of those are like the peons of these other people. You know what I mean? Like from their perspective, they're the lower
They're the
levels.
workers.
They're the worker bees that make the pyramid scheme function, right? So they don't need a Neuralink. They don't need to know what the communication is and the down low.
They just gotta follow directions.
Right. So it makes sense that those particular people with all of that money and abandoned mansions, because that's something else we've been watching lately, is tons of videos of famous people's abandoned mansions. You got money to walk off and leave a mansion empty and not try to sell that thing? Fool, you got too much money for your own good. I'm telling you what, I would never do that. That just burns my biscuit. I'll go live in one of them suckers. Let me be a mansion squatter. Right?
Right.
I'd be all about that life. I'd be like wearing my fur stole. Be like the Clampets. But yeah, I mean, if you got that kind of money to throw around and just not worry about, then you can surely afford a Neuralink. And I can see where they would think that's a good idea because, I mean, basically Neuralink is, you know, the hacked, back engineered way for us to speak in telepathy to each other, right? Which is, again, something they took from nature and they figured out how to make a mechanical replica of it. So don't go thinking you need Neuralink so that you can talk in telepathy with people because you can already do that.
Yeah,
you just got to exercise that muscle to know how. Right? Which, by the way, I teach on my other channel, so go check it out. Deja Brew, waking you up to truths.
I forgot.
At Beacon News 777. Damn, I forgot to name my own channel. Shame on me.
She had a brain fart.
I did. It was like a blonde moment or something. But yeah, I sure did. But anyway, I want to know in the comments what y'all think about this, right? What's your thoughts on all this? And, okay, so we didn't even get to those. I kind of skipped over the Allie Carter and went straight to that. But Blue Ivy.
Yeah,
You go. I gotta breathe.
Yeah,
You
Blue
say it.
Ivy. We kind of come to the conclusion by doing a little research that she might possibly be Kathy White's daughter, Kathy White and Jay-Z's daughter.
Yeah, instead of Allie Carter.
Instead of Allie Carter.
But even if she's not, we have also discovered that Mr. Hove, Jay-Z, apparently has
a lot of kids.
quite a few illegitimate childrens in the world. The oldest one being 30.
Yeah.
So man got around.
And he won't do a DNA test because
Right.
guess what? He don't want his DNA in the system.
Right. Tell him that What we thought about that.
Well, if he puts his DNA in the system, he's probably going to be named in this whole Diddy thing, for one.
Right. Or
And any kind of crime that's happened that hasn't been solved. And then all these children that are coming out of the woodwork saying that that he's their father, might come to light. Like, it might come to light. They might actually be speaking the truth.
He might have a lot of babies out there in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of babies. Not just those 3 with Miss Beyonce. That's gonna piss the girl off. But look out for that. Queen Bee being mad is apparently not a good thing.
You might get,
especially if your name is Kathy White. According to the, for entertainment purposes only, alleged accusations being thrown around. There's so much gossip these days. You don't know what to believe. But we're on it. We're on the case. We're trying to figure it out. By golly. But yeah, we got Blue Ivy, possible connections. And for those of you that don't know, that's Jay-Z and Beyonce's oldest daughter.
Yep.
Which just happens to be, here's the kicker. Here's the kicker here. This Kathy Corey White passed away September of 2011.
Yeah.
And Blue Ivy was born February.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of 2012, 4 months later. She only did one public appearance as an infant, which was one individual picture with the mama, Beyonce, and one individual picture with the daddy, Jay-Z, that was published allegedly after she was born, right? After she was allegedly born. But they could have had that picture taken like right away, right? If they's got the baby. You know what I'm saying? If they's got the baby. For entertainment purposes only. Because I don't know. I'm just speculating with some stuff and joining in the scuttlebutt. But it seems like an awful big coinky-dink that there would be 4 months different in the age of his mistress's child and his wife's child. Pretty interesting, if you ask me.
And then how old was she when the next one she was seen in public?
Oh, it wasn't for another year. She was almost 2, actually. She was almost 2 the next time they let her be in public. So by then, you got a toddler.
4 months don't matter here nor there.
You ain't gonna tell if she's like 4 months younger than what she should be or something by then.
Not like you would when you're a baby.
Right. So by then, yeah, you can see the child, not think nothing of it, not think twice about it. So there may be something there. I don't know. And Liz Crokin, actually, who's a fierce journalist, my lady hero of the 21st century, actually is the one who is talking about the Kathy Corey White situation with Jay-Z. And she claims that just months before Kathy White passed away, she had either interviewed her or set up the interview with her. I'm not clear on which way that went. But she sure seems to know an awful lot about hers and Jay-Z's connection for somebody that would have never interviewed her. So I'm going to just presume there was some type of a conversation or interview that went down for her to seem to know so much.
And she was going to spill the beans and...
Right. She was going to come out and tell it all, that she was his mistress and that she was pregnant with his baby and she was just about to give birth about the time that she went to her demise. So that seems, I agree with Liz Crokin, that seems very suspicious. Very. And they've also recently resumed, how do you say that? Resumed the body to do a new autopsy on her.
Yeah.
And they said that it showed that she did struggle. Yeah. When the official first reason for her passing was an aneurysm in her brain, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's some sketchy shit going on there. Probably going to be some more indictments getting unsealed pretty soon, which I know a little something about. There's actually like hundreds of thousands of sealed indictments currently on the docket that you can, public knowledge, you can go and look it up. That's a fact. And, Gitmo got nicely remodeled while Mr. T was in charge.
Yeah.
And I feel like there was a reason for that that's probably connected to all of those unsealed indictments. And I think this is an exciting time we live in. And we're going to see lots and lots of truths coming out. And other than saying mind blown, I don't even know what kind of an opinion I would have on learning that Musk is cute. I don't know how I feel about that yet. I haven't processed it quite yet.
Wouldn't it be great if our theory is correct and we'd be like, we cracked the code?
Right? I would feel like such a Nancy Drew, Scooby-Doo team player, I would
Because
so proud
trust
of
me,
us.
when she said we were shocked, we were throwing it out there, and we were both like, oh, gosh.
We were like, no, what if?
Yeah.
Holy shit. I mean, he really would have, like, the mother load of having it all. Like, he really would have it all on them. And I personally know that they already had some, because I saw it with my own two eyes. Like, I saw it. And I was like, ooh, that's how I know how sick they are, because it was some bad stuff. So I know they've got some shit already on some other people that we didn't name no names of today. Some other people. And, I feel like this is a perfect time to say, get your popcorn, enjoy the show, you're watching a movie, things are about to get good. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's finally going to pop off. Yeah. And it's been a long time coming.
And people, pay attention. Keep your eyes open and pay attention. These kids that are out there,
they need our help.
They need help. They need everyone's help.
Yep.
I mean, it's
that ain't a right wing, left wing, red versus blue, Jew versus Christian, nothing like that.
This is sick
everybody.
And twisted. It's sick and twisted.
They need all of us.
And we all need to pay attention. And if we see something, you have that show out there, what would you do?
Yeah, see something, say something.
Step up.
Yep.
And stop it. Because, good Lord, I don't know what I'd do if it was like one of my kids or my grandkids and someone had the opportunity to help and they just ignored it. Like,
turn a blind eye too. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, I would never turn a blind eye to that crap.
Nope.
Like, I would say something in a heartbeat.
Yep.
No matter what.
So pay attention to the children when you see them out in public. Really look at them. Read their energy. Read their body language. Read their eyes. Read their face. Look at them. Because just because the person they're with is the same color of skin as them doesn't mean they belong with that person. There's a lot of this going on. So please pay attention to the children. Do this for the children. Let's come together for the children. Because this has been going on for way too long.
It needs to stop.
Yeah.
It needs to stop.
Yeah. And that is why I'm actually so happy that all of this is finally popping off. Because for me, from the get-go, from the onset of all of this research and learning that I have done, the children are my passion. They are the ones that had my heart, had my attention, and had my complete energy focused on learning more about that for them, to help them. So this is real. This is serious, and it's big. It's so big. So please pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to your children. Pay attention to other people's children. Watch what they're looking at and who they're talking to on social media platforms and game platforms and all of it, because they are looking for very creative ways to get to our children.
And listen to your kids.
Yes.
Because they're around kids every day, and they know things that maybe they don't even know they know, and they could be talking to you and telling you something, and you'd be like, oh crap, so listen to them.
Yep.
To what they have to say. Listen to their friends when they come over, or if they could never come over.
Right.
Like there's something.
Pay attention to all of
they're
that.
always asking this one person to come over, and they're never allowed to come over, there may be a reason why.
Right.
So
I mean, there may not be.
There may be
a wrong reason too,
but pay attention to that.
Paying attention to.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't just automatically assume everybody's guilty either. But
I'm not saying everybody's guilty. I'm just saying ask questions. Like
yeah.
It doesn't hurt to ask questions.
Yeah. And back in the old days, even in like our parents and our grandparents' days, it took a village to raise your kids. Like the whole town knew your kids, knew your people, right? They knew who you belonged to.
They knew where you were at all times.
So everybody was looking out for those kids,
Yep.
I mean, I used to run all over town as a little child growing up. And I mean young, 5, 6 years old, running around town because the whole freaking town knew me and knew where I live and who my parents were. And they all watched out for the children,
Yep.
If they saw you doing wrong, they told you to stop.
And they called your parents.
And they'd call your parents, or they'd take you home. If they saw you in trouble, with somebody else giving you trouble, they would come help you out. They would step in. And we need to be that community again. We need to be that village. We need to all come together for the children and go back to those kind of really beautiful, meaningful old ways. We don't have to leave our technology behind to still have the same compassion and morals and values for people, for humanity, especially the children.
Yes. And if you're one of those people who thinks that doesn't happen in America, think again. Ask yourself, where are those 320,000 children that come across the border?
And that's just
unaccounted
and that's
for.
just the
and that's
immigrants.
just a small.
That's
amount.
just the immigrants. Because factually speaking, 850,000 American children go missing a year. 850,000 statistically. Look it up. That's a fact. That is not entertainment purposes only. That is not speculation. That is not allegedly. That is a fact. Go look it up. 850,000 children in America alone. American citizen children go missing every year. That's frightening. That's frightening. You add the immigrant children to that, and you're talking about 1 million kids or more a year. Where are they all going? What tunnel are they in? What cruise line did they get snatched up and put on? Or a shipping container? There's some dark shit you just don't understand. And we seriously need to start coming together, wake up and get our heads out of the sand, and really look at what's happening around us. Because we're going to hell in a handbasket quick if we don't change this, if we don't stop this. And it takes us. We are who we've been waiting for. Just like the North Carolina people in their hurricane. They didn't wait for government. They helped out their neighbor. Whether that was next door or a state over or 3 states away.
Yep.
You helped your neighbor. Let's help our neighbors.
I mean, your governor of Florida was going through his own mess, and he sent his own people in the middle of his mess to help.
Right.
So.
Right. These kind of things can really make us shine as humanity. But only if you actually believe that it exists, right? You could see the hurricane. You could see the effects. You could see the damage. You're not seeing these children. You're not watching their videos. You're not, of that the traffickers have made of them. You're not seeing those kind of visuals, and you don't want to. I promise you don't want to. You can't get that out of your head. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. But you need to take people like us, our word for it, that this is real. And the statistics are there to back us up. If you need to go and do your research, please do so to believe it. Please do so. But we need to all have a passion in our heart and our soul and a fire under our butt to stand up and say, enough. We've got to do something about this. this whole Diddy thing is the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole house of cards that's getting ready to come down with your help.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait.
It'll be a beautiful day, and it won't just be a day, but it'll be a beautiful time.
And it's going to
in
be
history.
Disgusting, but it's
Bittersweet. Very bittersweet. Yeah. I'm going to get emotional. All right. That's it. That's what we got for you today. God bless all of you. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up button, because every like helps generate more in the algorithm so that YouTube shows this video to more people. And if you can, share it. If you haven't already, subscribe. Help us build this channel. Help us spread this word. We're here to share truths with you, educate you on all kinds of fun stuff, not just the ugly. Sometimes we do crazy videos about other things that most people don't want to talk about, happen in everyday life. So tune in. Check us out. We love you.
Peace
Take
out.
care.